panel. I think Anup is here. Anup Tawari from the CIO at Duroflex. Sumit Gupta from Decathlon, yeah, he's here too. Jarmina, ma'am, please. You're here too. Lavish is not in. Amit is here from Fossil, please. Yeah. Pushpen from Technosport. Yes. And Alan doesn't need an introduction. And yeah. Thanks, everyone. Extremely thankful for the opportunity to talk about the industry from industry veterans. You know, everyone's probably masters in this space, either on the discovery side or on the delivery side, or everything in between, representing great brands of repute. It'd be great if you could share your own introductions, better than us, better than what Anupama did or I did for others' introductions, please.
Hey, hi, I'm Anup. I'm CIO at Duroflex. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sumit. I lead the product discovery charter for Decathlon India. So taking care of search, navigation, and personalization. And very glad to be here, very humbled to be here among these distinguished speakers. My favorite sports are playing table tennis and swimming.
Hi, I'm Jabina. I have played 2 roles, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I am with Bhartiya Urban as the brand strategist. And weekends, I like to mentor young D2C brands. Was actively doing that till 2 years back, so still got my toes in the industry and enjoyed that a lot.
Hi, this is Amit. I belong to Fossil Group and work in the capacity of the Global Digital Sales and Operations. With Fossil, it's been 5 years, but in the industry, it's been 19 years, and throughout my journey is into digital. So happy to contribute to the panel.
Yeah, hi, this is Pushpen here. I'm CEO at Technosport. Technosport is a made in India, made for the world activewear brand. So Sumit, whenever you're playing the next sport, try Technosport.
So no, Alan and I will not do this again. We've just been through our introductions, but very happy to co-host this with Incref, Netcore, Shopify, all upstream partnerships for us for years together. We've all been mature players over a decade in the industry. Strong presence in India for all of us. Unique problem solvers, not just cookie cutter. I think that's what makes a lot of the times it's our clients that have made us work together and develop solutions together. So it's always inside out. So lovely to be able to come together. We'll take a max of half an hour just to respect everyone's time. And we'll just go through a few themes from whatever your perspectives are. We can keep it open, even if there are others want to help me in being a moderator, please feel free. We'll also like to throw this back for at least 15 minutes or 10 minutes after the half an hour, because a lot of us, as co-hosts know that a lot of you as our clients actually know this a lot better than us. So would love to hear some of your experience also, and don't be surprised if I pull you in at any point, so you'll have to pay attention, sorry. I think there are 2 or 3 themes. One was building a profitable and scalable eTail engine in the 4.0 era. 4.0 is probably the AI era, but we've also heard of late that AI is not here to replace jobs. And I don't know whether that's a controversial start to the conversation, but would love to hear a CIO's view on that.
I'm not too sure about it, okay, and how it's going to pan out. It will definitely change the way we work, and many of the roles in the organization, they would get redefined. It's a once in a lifetime kind of a, not event, but the phase through which we are going, and many things would change.
Sure.
I really don't know how it's going to pan out, but yes, definitely businesses are going to change, and
sure,
society as a whole, the way we function, would have major implications, I think.
Sure. I'll throw the same question back to Alan. I think within the walls of Shopify across the globe, there must be a lot of talk about AI usage, proliferation. There were internal emails circulated on LinkedIn as well about how everyone needs to be using AI more terrifically than ever.
30% is the number. 30% of our job has to be AI driven. So that's every 6 months when I sit with my manager, there's a separate section which comes up. What have you done exceptionally well in AI in the past 6 months? Because then he will see January to June, and then he's seeing, then you tell me what you're doing next. So yeah, so Shopify looks at AI from a very from a standpoint as a tech engine, right? We have been we have made it available for merchants. We have made it available for team internally, right? A large part. I can tell you that it may not replace, but we have seen this change, right? We used to use telephones, then it became mobile. So it has evolved. For Shopify, a lot of it has evolved for the merchants as well, right? So we have like couple of things. Now let me tell you what Shopify Magic can do, right? That's our AI. Shopify's AI is called Magic, right? With that, it helps you do a lot of things. It helps you with customer experience. It will help you reply to an email. You add random photos, it will change it. It'll make it a very good image. You put in videos, it'll change videos. Some of this would have taken time earlier. Now, brands who are on some other platform will still be breaking the head of, change image, change this, change that. At Shopify brand, our brands can do it just like that, right? Sidekick is Shopify's AI assistant, right? What it does is up until 6 months back, you had to put in command. Now you can basically give Sidekick a voice command that, hey, give me a comparison of the last 3 months on a particular category. Tell Sidekick to run a 20% discount across a category, and Sidekick will just do it. More to it, you can tell Sidekick that, hey, just go and change a particular piece from my theme. Sidekick will do it. So whether it is customer experience, whether it is content, or whether it is data, right? Shopify is deeply ingrained in making brands' life more easier. Yeah, that's further going, like, look out for January, and Shopify editions will further give throughout surprise. One last point, I think we have done integrations with even Perplexity, one of the first ones to do, like APIs are readily available. If you just have a good agency, you can integrate your products with AI engine. We have also launched a partnership where we are testing the grounds with a few 30 odd brands in US, where their products would be seen on AI, on I think ChatGPT somewhere, just like that. Okay. So yeah, something that we've taken it very seriously. It's going right in.
Excellent. No, thanks. I'll just move to another part of this topic of discussion, which is scale and profitability. But in today's day and age, I think it's a lot about speed and agility as well. And we keep talking about failing fast. When you talk about speed and agility, it could be execution, it could be delivery, it could be quick commerce. Sid, I'd love to get Decathlon and Technosport in, because scalability, profitability, speed, agility, I've heard a lot. I've heard Pushpen talking about that a lot. Now Pushpen's doing podcasts as well. So So please feel free to chip in, either of you.
Yeah, so that's a very nuanced question, balancing speed, agility, and profitability. So for Decathlon, there are certain values which we hold, like sustainability and human values, that technically lead to a higher cost for the supply side. So even our stores, our manufacturers in Bangladesh or other areas would have good medical insurance and all those things sustained. So systematically increases the cost at the supply side. On the demand side, our vision is to make sports accessible to all the Indians at a very affordable price. So that constrains us on the demand side. So in between, we have to deliver what the market needs, like express delivery and all. So we had to find innovative solutions. For us, I think our stores act as delivery hubs as well. So our actually quick commerce orders, unlike the industry, are more profitable for us because we don't accept returns, and it's a basically existing infrastructure we are just scaling. It comes with a set of trade-offs. For example, we can expand only in areas in which our stores are there. But that's a trade-off that we are willing to take at this stage, because for us as a global company, profitability is at the core, and we cannot compromise on our values. So at least wherever we can on the 140 store footprint that we have within 5 to 7 kilometer radius, we'll keep delivering, and hopefully those orders will remain more profitable than other orders.
So I would like to address the profitability and the speed in two different segments, right? So I think for Technosport, I think I'll go back a little back, right? Because if you have a great product, I think profitability is kind of driven, right? If you don't have a great product, you end up giving discounts, you end up doing a lot of performance marketing, and you kind of lose a lot of margin there, right? And if the product is unique, the product is solving a certain purpose for the consumer, and you're able to offer something which is not available anywhere else at that price, I think then you have an edge. And at Technosport, I think specific to e-commerce business, right? And Naveen knows, we started with Naveen 2.5 years back. Today, our e-commerce is within that short span of time, it's scaled really well, right? Just to give you some sense, this September, in a single day, we did 1 crore GMV, right? We sold 23,000 units, right? It's been 2.5 years journey just. But we have been able to consistently make money even in online business, e-commerce business. For the last 6 months, we have been high single-digit EBITDA at a channel level, right? The reason is very simple. We have a great product. I think the product is solving certain purpose, and consumers are not able to find that. Our average discount, you can open Myntra and Flipkart right now, you'll find average 5 to 7%, right? Our overall performance marketing budget is less than 10%, right? So very, very quality driven, and I am able to boast these numbers because our product is again great, right? I think that's the point on the profitability side. The second, I think speed, all of us are in e-commerce business, right? And there are, I have been part of building Myntra in a very early stage, and I used to keep telling we are selling photographs to the people, right? The product comes later. So when you look at a list page, you open a PDP, you look at great catalog, you look at great reviews, you get great discounting, then you see the product is delivered in 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. In today's world, who is going to buy, right? After quick commerce came, I think there's a huge habit forming factor where consumers are expecting everything to be delivered as soon as possible, right? So I think speed is the important aspect of the business today. Again, just to give you some example, we do a little bit of forward deployment of inventory in Myntra, Flipkart and Amazon. Small catalog delivers, let's say 20% catalog delivers 50% of the revenue. We recently onboarded on Myntra now. One store, HSL layout store, that store does about 20 lakhs a month. And in the first month itself, the omni-channel business on Myntra has done 6 lakhs, right? Just imagine, right? Just enabling that quick delivery, right? How you can amplify your scale. So definitely speed is the conversion driver in the new age e-commerce. I think that all of us need to be sort of build and work around that.
Thanks for those great thoughts there. Another keyword from the pointers shared was O2O, online, offline, connected commerce, omni-channel, all extensions of the same thought. I'll bring in Amit and Ramina ma'am here. You're working and observing brands that are distributed across channels, and the customer wants to seamlessly access it. Now over time, as attention span gets shorter and device sizes get smaller, what's your thought on where this is going, and how are brands trying to get ahead of that space for the consumer share of wallet?
Okay. I think Commerce 4.2 is not about being everywhere. It's about being there where it matters, right? And that's the whole essence of bringing in omni-channel together and then building a brand which can actually reach the consumer when they need us. Like Pushpin was saying that delivering the product in 3 hours, 4 hours, right? How, for example, if I look at Fossil as a brand, right? Fossil is a brand that is looked at as an affordable luxury brand. It is a brand that is considered for gifting. Now, if, let's say, Anshuman is going to a wedding and he has missed buying a watch or a gift for someone, right? On the way, he can think of buying something and then using something which is can deliver to the location in 3 hours, then that's an experience. So that's where I think omni-channel comes into play for us and for a lot of other brands as well, where we are using omni-channel inventory, be it in our warehouse or in our dark store or in our retail store, and then using the combination of, I think, for example, tools like Incref to optimize the speed, to optimize the location methodology, right? And then telling that from where you should service the order, which is the fastest way to deliver it, right? So that's how experiences can be built using omni-channel. And that is something that will help any brand today to build on the base that we have, because anybody and everybody cannot go on quick commerce. While we have seen that iPhone got sold on quick commerce, but a lot of brands will still shy away in going on quick commerce. So that's my 2 cents on this.
Jeremy, I would disagree.
The customer has been omni-channel for, I think, since COVID. So it's just that which part of the omni-channel have they added, and honestly, while quick commerce says 10 minutes, most of us know that other than groceries, typically it's 2 hours. And there is this new beast in between called rapid commerce of 2 to 6 hours, which is, I think, easier on the system, easier for customers. So when I come from the offline space, which I currently manage, which is a mall, frankly, if you are in the vicinity, it's as fast as any rapid commerce because you can actually go and pick it up. And what we are seeing is that shoppers, the sales growth we are seeing better in the D2C brands, honestly, than the legacy brands, which seems very contradictory. And these are brands who have, order now, get now, equivalent of now. All of them are there, but what we are actually seeing is a better growth in the D2C online brands, multi-channel brands, than the legacy brands who are a bit slow. So a Snitch, a Bear House, a Soul Store is month on month showing much better growths than any of the legacy brands. Now it could be a customer product fit, as Paresh was saying, or anything else. But the point is, a customer has been omni-channel, they still continue to be omni-channel. And how are you really serving them? They could even be coming as a showrooming to us, but we know that they benefit from visiting us. So we would say that mall is as much a part of quick commerce as anything else, if you're in the vicinity and you're not driving to us.
Sure. Interesting line of thought there. And we're doing some journeys with malls and digitization, and the neighborhood mall being the trusted delivery partner.
You said it, I did.
So just wanted to add on this, right?
Yeah.
The mall, right? You go to Western countries, right? You go to Europe, you go to US. You can drive maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, go to a Nike store and buy a pair of shoes, right? And we call them developed countries because they have developed infrastructure, right? Developed roads, your access to the malls are faster. I usually say India is developing a digital highway, right? You don't need to go to Nike stores by driving 10 minutes or 15 minutes. In 10, 15 minutes, Nike will come home or Technosport will come home, right? So in a way, I think, that's a very different way of getting developed, but yet consumers will get the same access like any other developed country in the world because of the quick commerce. I'll just add one example, right? I was in Mumbai in one of the events, and I went out for dinner with my team, and the pub was a bit chilly, okay? And I asked the waiter, can we increase the temperature? He said, it's a centralized AC, I cannot do that localized control, right? So I opened up Zepto, I searched for a jacket. The only jacket showed up was Technosport, okay? And I ordered, the SLA was 8 minutes. That guy was outside the pub in 4 minutes. I wore the jacket, I had a great time, right? So, coming back to your point also, being at the right time when the consumer wants is something also quick commerce will solve. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, user-generated content also, is something that, from advertising standpoint of personalization, also is doing very well. So, your example was a good user-generated content to be as a
I
snippet.
actually want to share a similar O2O example, and this was much before quick commerce came. So, one of the things I like to gift a lot of friends are these letter mugs which Nicobar has. And I had to do that one day, and it was not possible to go all the way to the store. And I just took my chance and I called them and I said, "Do you have it?" They said, "Yes." I said, "If I send a porter, can you deliver?" So, this was much before quick commerce, about 3 years back. And they said yes. Funnily, I had first dialed one store which refused, same brand. So it was a customer attitude in the second brand. And after that, believe me, I do that very regularly.
Yeah.
So it's also a question of how are you training the mindset, and existing tools, how are you using? There was no quick commerce then.
I think I can share one example, a contradiction to what we all are saying, right? So we understand quick commerce is there and it will remain there, and we have to onboard to it from a brand standpoint as well, right? But I had a conversation with a customer just yesterday, and he was a winner of a CRM quiz. He was supposed to get a gift from Fossil, and he was refusing it from past, I think, 10-12 days. And I mean, he was the owner of a bar and restaurant in Hyderabad. So I realized that, okay, he's someone who may be having a chain of bars. So I called him myself. I asked him that, "Sir, why are you refusing? Are you busy? You're not picking up Buddha call and all that stuff?" So he said that, "Amit, I get delivery calls day in, day out. My kids, my wife, my family members, they keep on ordering on Zepto, on Blinkit, on Flipkart, Amazon, everywhere, right? So that's why I got confused, and I simply did not answer the call. And that's the reason. I mean, people moving on to different tracks, right? It kills the person who is accepting the delivery call. So I think from a CRM standpoint, the targeting should also be better. That, okay, are you going to receive the product, or is there someone else who can receive it?
It's a reality because a lot of RTOs happen due to that. You don't know which calls you're supposed to answer versus not, and you actually wanted the delivery, but I
think that actually led me to a point that I reached out to my support team and I asked that, can we add one more field of a recipient contact number? That who is going to receive it? Is there a different number in that, right? So that may actually solve some part of it, probably.
And
some of the marketplaces are solving, saying leave with security, leave at door, etc.
No, in fact, one of the larger marketplaces finally started. I mean, obviously marketplaces anyway do that, but even when large D2C brands said, when we over-confirm the order, you actually lose half the orders as RTOs. If you actually start sending most of them, half of them convert. So, sometimes even too tight, measures. But yeah, it's a profitability thing. The logistics, no logistics guys here, but other ones really making money from all of this, and their profitability is secure. But I'll jump to the next question, and I'd love to bring in Anoop. And in omnichannel, in certain categories, especially categories like yours, are typically multi-touch point purchases. How have you cracked e-com to scale in a predominantly offline heavy brick and mortar category? Is it fair for me to assume that's what is Duroflex per se? And how, guys on Shopify are doing a great job with that, but would love to hear that, and maybe it's useful. We've got Stanley here, we got half a table there, 3 of them. They'd love to understand how predominantly offline, where you can drive discovery at one touch point and delivery at the other. It could be either way. So we'd love to hear how you've done that.
Sure. I would not say that we have figured it out firstly. It's a very complex problem to solve, to understand how consumers are moving from one touch point to other touch point. But we have invested quite a lot of mind share, as well as a lot of technology goes into that, and the kind of backend that we have built our own sort of CDP where all the interactions are coming in, and then we try to make sense of it in terms of how exactly the journeys are happening, online to offline, online again, right? For category like ours, where that touch and feel experience is very, very important. Maybe a simple mattress for your guest bedroom, you would only buy it online without even experience it. However, if you want to buy it for yourself, and for certain starters, you would want to go and experience that product, really understand that. So even before the person reaches to our website or the store, the research in a sort happens, and as per our studies, typically on an average 2 weeks of research goes before buying mattress or any kind of furniture by the consumer, and after that the conversion happens. So once we identify that touch point, how do we keep that consumer interested, and then give the right kind of information which would help the consumer to make the mind. That is the real problem to solve.
Right.
So in that aspect, having a very strong backend where you can actually take control of these consumer journeys and then start automating these once you identify the patterns, that becomes very critical. And yeah, so we do work on those aspects. Again, as I said, I haven't cracked it fully, but all these technologies working together, and with Shopify, the cost of experimentation is very low. So you can try out multiple things. If it's not working, you can
Sure.
then again roll it back. Yeah, that's how we work.
Excellent. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so it's been a problem for us to crack as well. We recently started online business in 2020 out of the necessity for COVID. So for us, our soul is at the stores and the teammates, so every strategy centers around that. For the most predominant part of our online strategy is the online shopping app, which has 20 million plus downloads. But it takes care of certain aspects like scan and pay, where it can detect if you are at the store and allow you to self-checkout. It can detect whether the inventory is there in your location or not and suggest a click and collect model and all. But apart from that, where the shopping app takes care of inventory, we have a coach app, Decathlon, which takes care of your journey. So whether you're an athlete or a beginner, it has training material, it has integration with Strava, Fitbit, etc. Then the Decathlon Play app, which takes care of accessibility. So stores are also playgrounds and you can book them.
Sure.
And then Decathlon Ace, which is an app for teammates. So when a customer enters the store with their permission, if we have their information, the teammates can look at their journey and personalize the recommendations. Then there are affiliates and membership programs. And stores are again at the center because they act as delivery hubs as well. So many of these things even I discovered because I'm relatively new to the Decathlon compared to the previous 10 years, but I found it a very interesting way to create an ecosystem around sports, and that's how we are looking at omnicommerce.
Okay. Last 5 minutes on the panel. I'll just throw around probably one question for quick 30 seconds to 1 minute from everyone, because it seems, well, I think about it, that everyone represents different price points of commerce. You advise a lot of interesting D2C startups in interesting categories, maybe even F&B, etc. And then there is other such categories like Fossil. In the last year or two, do you think e-com is becoming more price sensitive or discount sensitive or moving towards premiumization? I mean, it's only perspective. It could be all. I mean, from where you're seeing it in your own experience. Anyone?
See, I think price sensitivity, at least in fashion category, I will tell you, after pandemic, I think consumers are inclined towards value, right? And that is the reason we see, Zudio, Max, Style Union, or brands like Technosport is doing so well. You can buy a t-shirt at 2,000 rupees, but consumers are looking at using the same money and buying 5 t-shirts, right? So there is a bit of fast fashion which is catching up, and fast fashion works when it is value, right? On e-commerce, I think being part of, Myntra, almost starting Myntra in 2010-11, my journey, right? Before that in India, I think pricing was not as fluid as today, right? It used to be only MRP, right? I remember I used to work in Central, non-EOSS discount, even 10% you need to take CEO's permission, right? I mean, from there, starting to discount in early e-commerce days, and then every other brand offering 30, 40, 50, 70% discount. Today, there are brands which is operating 60, 70% discount round the year, right? So in that journey, I would say when it comes to e-commerce, I told offline. E-commerce, I think pricing has become, bit fluid. It has got disrupted. But now consumers are realizing that it's not about what is the percentage matter, what is the absolute value, right? I have to pay. MRP has become a myth now. In the end of the day, how much you are sort of paying from your pocket, right? So we as a brand, I think from our perspective, we do honest pricing. We don't offer discount. Little bit of discount, 5-7% average discount down the year, that's all, right? So I think, there is an opportunity to build honest pricing and build brand around that. So definitely there is inclination towards value, but that also brings us an opportunity, particularly for D2C brands, to build a category, build business around that in a very, very honest way, right? That's how I look at it.
Any other couple of folks?
Yeah, I think how we should look at this problem and from a pricing standpoint is customers have started looking at it as luxury and comfort versus necessity and affordability. What is important for them? Then what is the brand positioning in which market? How is the brand positioning themselves in that market, right? Because luxury brands, they'll keep on selling their products because they are meant for a niche customer base, right? And that niche customer base don't look at MRP or discounts. They'll keep on buying those products, right? But for a new customer acquisition, for a brand which is into a mid segment or a lower segment, it becomes very difficult when it comes to pricing. What is the price strategy? How are you discounting your product? Whether you are showing that you are customer hungry and giving 60-70% discount. So I think the strategy mix plays an important role, and that depends on the geography and how you are positioning the brand in that market.
Good. We've seen both sides of the value chain there. Last question, maybe we can open it up for questions to anyone from the panel or from anyone else, but just to you. I just realized that, all of us, Chosen, Creft, Netco, Shopify, all of us have a lot of use cases globally. So a lot of our work and volume is in India, but we also have a lot of use cases. Do you think from a consumer standpoint, as well as from a seller or a merchant standpoint, discovery to delivery in cross-border has become easier? What are you seeing from a Shopify standpoint? Because we're doing a lot of expansion stores. It's extremely, it's a good revenue model for us. Are you seeing the connected seller also going as fast as the connected consumer?
Yeah. So there are a lot of examples that I can give. In fact, my presentation had a couple of examples. I'll give you two good examples. And these are all examples live on Google. You can just put, say, my first example would be Jiva, right? It's a jewelry brand. They started in India. And there are certain categories now, I've been on the cross-border side for a while, whether it be on the payment side with PayPal or whether it be with eBay and Flipkart for the first 5 years. If you ask brands where there is money, it's always cross-border. Right? They'll have higher margin, less returns, less headache. Simple. Whether it be marketplace or whether it be their own D2C site. So I'll give you Jiva as an example. They were doing India. They launched 4 other regions. They launched Europe. They launched Middle East. They launched UK. They saw close to 200% increase in their new customer base, and again around 180% increase in their revenue as well. One of the latest case studies that came out was Malmal. Everybody's aware of Malmal. Malmal, again, a brand that started, Malmal and Libas both. Now, Libas was a 0 to 300 crore journey. Malmal is again on the same point of how Malmal launched globally. At Shopify, it's very easy. You have one website, they'll just clone it into like 3 other websites. Like it'll just copy paste. Right? It's as simple maths as it is. With all ecosystem, with all integrations, like plug and play. Dislike one, you can remove one, you can add the other. So it makes your go-to market for any international region very, very easy. Now, similarly, Malmal also launched. You will see Malmal Middle East. You'll have Malmal US. Now, the beauty of it is it will allow Shopify as a platform would allow like certain barriers. Like if you do not want Middle East people to come into your India portal and see, you can't. You can try that even now. log into malmal.ae and it will not allow you. It will redirect to India because the price point is different. So the brand themselves don't want people from here and there coming on to a more price sensitive region and ordering it for their loved ones. So even Malmal saw a great rise in their in their business, whether it be revenue, whether it be overall customer new customer acquisition that most brands are in the hunt for. Yeah, for Shopify, cross-border happens to be one of the most widely used or most widely used product for any brand that is looking to scale.
Thanks. I mean, I think I'm out of time here. I would love to ask more questions on the first-party data, personalization, customer acquisition, customer lifetime value side of it, but you can save it for conversations later. Any questions from anyone here before we get off the screen? Anyone has any questions? Yeah, please.
Good evening. This is Saptarshi, and thanks a lot for the insights that we received. And it's to the entire panel regarding AI into different industries. Would want to understand how is AI getting into hospitality industry or healthcare for that matter. Like, for example, my experience, if I talk about, I had to change flight tickets. Reschedule flight tickets, and I was speaking to a bot, and trust me, I was not getting answer to any of it. So it was actually creating a lot of inexperience to me rather than experience. Are the organizations deciding upon which all are the different segments where we are integrating AI to? Right, that is one question. Second is about talking about speed with profitability that we spoke about. Even it depends a lot from industry to industry, I believe, because from a startup, coming from startup and working in startups in last 10 years also, one thing which I have realized is every company, whenever we start in a particular geography, right, it is always looking good. It's always great. The moment we think about expansion, it does not only hit our profitability, it also hits our customer experience also, because the way how initial time I can monitor the customer experiences, the moment I go to the multiple cities, the same, the essence with which the customer experience reaches to the last mile defaults. So these are the two questions I would like to be answered. Thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot for the questions, Saptarshi. I was about to give my last 2 cents on AI. Thanks for asking the question. So AI, if you look at any industry, I'm not an expert in hospitality. I started my career with hospitality, but not an expert. But I can tell you, AI is AI plus human. Why I'm saying so? Because AI is actually a new hire for you. You are hiring the AI agent, you are training the AI agent, you are testing the AI agent, you are analyzing the data, and then you're again retraining the agent, right? What is important out here is a clean data. Because if the data is not clean, then the AI agent will keep on doing the same mistake like it happened with you. It will keep on repeating the same answers and will not give you relevant options, right? So that's one important part of AI when it comes to delivery. Second important part is choosing the right set of keywords, right set of prompts, right set of tools. It can be a mix of multiple AI agents. It can be one AI agent as well, right? But then having a combination will actually help in delivering the best result that is required. Because with AI, the best part is that you can continue having the discussion for a longer time and till the time you don't get your answers, right? And then definitely a human behind it will help in elevating the customer experience, which a lot of organizations today, they don't make that decision and they leave it on the agentic AI or AI bots. So that's something that we as brands have to think, and we have to invest in that as AI plus human. Exactly.
When I call up healthcare support, supposedly someone is asking for an ambulance or an emergency situation. It's very difficult to communicate with people, only with the bot. I need to communicate with a person who can hear me out.
Absolutely.
So that is something, perhaps few of the healthcare supports today have completely integrated with AI, but the human touch is missing. It has something to be done. Don't take me that I am someone from very age old, but this is something which is missing from healthcare. When you talk about healthcare, it's our parents.
Yeah.
right? So they will not be comfortable speaking to a bot.
See, the other side of the healthcare, I'll give you an example, okay? Not really on the healthcare services, but also, the formulation of new drug, okay? And this, I recently discovered because we also work, because in Activewear, we get the yarn from the supplier, right? And yarn is a purely, chemistry, right? There is a different formulation, etc. Similarly, pharmaceutical industry, right? I think application of AI has advanced the discovery of new drugs, right? I mean, taste, trial, understanding data, etc. So all over the world now, the advancement of finding new drugs has become much faster, right? Similarly, in our industry also, the fabric, the filament, the combination of what we use, a lot of company in global level, I think they are using AI to advancement of the advanced material sciences, right? So while in services, I agree with you to some extent. When you're frustrated after ordering food at one of the food marketplace, quick commerce, and then you end up raising a customer complaint, and then you see 10 messages getting repeated in within seconds, right? Somebody is writing, we understand your problem, we are trying hard, okay, we understand your problem, this is really bad, Pushpen, we will try to work hard, right? You can understand that somebody AI trying to become as human as possible, but it's fake, right? So when it comes to food, hospitality, I would love to have a little bit of humanity left there, and I fully agree with you. But there are some deeper sciences, which is impacting healthcare as an industry. I think AI is actually advancing a lot of work, which would have which has taken years and years of human work. Yeah.
Okay, just on the AI angle, so how we at Decathlon are looking at it is from the angle of productivity and the commercial angle. So from the commercial angle, there are certain use cases like search, personalization, etc., where definitely AI has a huge use case. One of the most important victories for Decathlon has been using AI at backend for demand forecast accuracy, which improved by 8% and all. But like Amit mentioned, the human touch is very important to this. And where we have seen certain projects fail is when there are not right set of humans to adopt that. So if we asked a 25-year-old veteran that now this is going to do stock forecasting for you, it's not going to happen. So it's 30% technical and 70% human. And you're definitely right, customer care is one aspect where we struggle. It's also due to the sheer amount of volume of calls that are there that if we do not use AI, then the entire backlog will get generated, and it doesn't just support the cost structure, but there should be appropriate mechanisms to pass on when the AI is not able to solve the problem, to pass it on to a human as soon as possible.
Thank you, Sumit.
Yeah, I think just to add to that what Sumit was saying. So basically, when it comes to interactions, it's similar to how a social media listening tool works, right? It actually differentiates the comments in the post between a normal post, a positive post, or a negative post, right? So a neutral, positive, and negative. So something has to, I mean, I'm not sure whether there are AI agents who can actually convert or rate a call between these three and then actually immediately transfer the call to someone else or not. But I think there are such technologies available in the market today. Okay. Coming back to your second question, I think there are experts other than me as well. I would request, and they have far better experience than me to give you answer. But in my opinion, I think when you scale, clustering is very important. When I say clustering, it means that you should know that which city, which area, what is your target audience, and then what is the price point that you're selling at, right? So restrict your assortment, restrict your inventory depth, and then only you'll be able to scale. Otherwise, you'll lose the customer confidence as well, because the moment you go in that market and you open up everything, you will definitely get some success with respect to orders, but then at the end, customer experience will be dented, and that will actually cause a dent on your brand, right? So I think over to Pushpen and ma'am, if you can.
I think
Go on.